Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're talking about the new Astra Militarum Death Korps of Krieg. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so we recently got the roadmap 2024-2025 for Warhammer 40,000 from Games Workshop, and they specifically pointed out that the Astra Militarum are going to be the next codex in 2025. And in that announcement, they specifically talk about the Death Korps of Krieg for the Astra Militarum. The Death Korps of Krieg are mustering in force, and they'll be making planetfall with a division of new plastic kits, taking them from a mere kill team to the meat grinding army we know them to be. And then here we see the actual roadmap. We see Astra Militarum with a Krieg pictured right here. So obviously that sparked a lot of excitement, a lot of interest, as the Death Korps of Krieg have some awesome lore. They've been portrayed many times in some of the Games Workshop video games. And then we recently saw that kill team come out in the previous edition, and it was the first of the new plastic kits, which is absolutely amazing. So I was on the Games Workshop web store and checking out some of the Astra Militarum stuff, and I noticed some interesting things. So we don't know exactly what's going to be coming in the new range refresh for the Astra Militarum and what Krieg units we're going to get. We just know that some are coming. So I did notice some of the kits are permanently gone from Games Workshop's web store. Now we would assume that a lot of the Forgeworld kits, or like the old resin kits that Games Workshop offered for Krieg, would be the ones that are getting replaced in plastic. And I noticed recently that a lot of the Krieg listings on the Warhammer web store are now officially sold out online, and there's no notify me for when they come back in stock, which means they're likely gone forever. So what kits are gone and what is likely going to be replaced in plastic? Well, let's take a look. So first we have the Death Korps of Krieg Infantry Squad at Ease and Advancing. Those are both gone, likely to be replaced with like the Kill Team kit that's currently out. And then if we scroll down here a little further, we see the Death Korps of Krieg Command Squad. So likely to be getting a new command squad similar to what we saw for the Cadian Astra Militarum for Krieg as well, which would include like a banner, box, some special weapons, and then probably some form of a command squad character as well. And then we see the Death Korps of Krieg Tank Commander is gone. So previously you could buy this upgrade frame and it would give you like the parts to build a Death Korps of Krieg Tank Commander to put onto your existing kits. So I think likely we're going to be seeing some kind of upgrade sprue with a bunch of extra like bits and everything, including like some officers to build a command tank with like the bits for an actual tank commander and maybe like some Krieg vehicle decals, etc. And then we also see the Death Korps of Krieg Commissar set is gone. So previously you could buy basically a Krieg Commissar commander and then 2 Krieg Commissars on foot. So I think very likely we're going to be seeing a Death Korps of Krieg Commissar or 2 coming out in plastic as well. Super exciting, as obviously the aesthetic is very, very cool. And then continuing on, we see like the Death Korps of Krieg Missile Launcher, the Krieg Weapon Set, and then the Krieg Command Upgrade. So very likely a lot of that stuff is going to be rolled into a Death Korps of Krieg upgrade frame, including a bunch of like special weapons for either shooting or close combat. And then we also see the Death Korps of Krieg Engineers. Now that's something that's a little more niche. Not sure if that's something that we're going to get in plastic or if they're just going away. But it would be cool to see like some interesting new engineer data sheet. And then moving on to what's got me really excited. So we see the Death Riders for the Death Korps of Krieg. So previously we had 5 different Death Riders available individually. I think it's very likely that we're going to be getting a plastic kit with the Death Riders of Krieg. So some mounted cavalry in the Krieg fashion. Very likely in similar fashion to what we saw with the Attilan Rough Riders, a new plastic kit that recently came out. Very cool aesthetics on that kit, lots of cool weapon options and poses, much more of like an action pose. So I think very likely we're going to get some in the form of the Krieg Death Riders as well. So really excited to see a plastic kit for the Death Riders. And then moving on from there, we have the Death Korps of Krieg Heavy Artillery Crew, and then the Death Korps of Krieg Command HQ Squad. So here we can see what we would likely get for like an actual banner, an officer, and then a couple of assistants, including like a Vox communicator, and then potentially like special weapons. So I do expect a command squad. And then finally, we see that all of the Death Korps of Krieg teams are gone. So we previously had a las cannon team, mortar team, heavy stubber team, autocannon team, las cannon team, heavy bolter team, and then the actual like Death Korps crew. So very likely we're going to see a heavy weapon squad for the Death Korps of Krieg as well. Probably similar to what we currently see for like the heavy weapons teams. Maybe 3 bases with different weapon options. Not sure if we're going to have all of these options available, but the current kit has the las cannon, autocannon, mortar, and heavy bolter available. So very likely we'll see at least those options. So lots of stuff permanently removed from Games Workshop's web store. All those kits previously available in resin only, and I think it's safe to assume that at least the majority, if not all those things, are going to be replaced with new plastic kits for the Astra Militarum Death Korps of Krieg. Now a quick word from today's sponsor, CMO Games. CMO Games carries a full range of Games Workshop products including miniatures, paint, terrain, tools, and more. They take pre-orders for most Games Workshop new releases as early as possible, usually 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. CMO Games offers 15% off of MSRP for most all Games Workshop products and offer fast free shipping to the continental United States on orders over $50. Most orders ship out within 24 hours. You know their customer service is top-notch as they've been selling games online for over 20 years. Use the affiliate link below and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you. So my guesses are that we're going to see a heavy weapons team with a bunch of different weapon options and Death Korps of Krieg crew, a Death Korps of Krieg command squad available individually, a new Death Rider of Krieg box set with 5 Death Riders and different weapon options similar to what we see for the Adelan Rough Riders, and then probably some kind of Death Korps of Krieg upgrade frame that's going to encompass like the tank commander potential upgrades, officer or like weapon upgrades, and then probably a separate commissar or multiple commissars as well. Similar to what we saw with the Cadian upgrade sprue that came out not that long ago, a bunch of extra like head options, weapon options, tank commanders, different poses, and like equipment upgrades. So very similar in fashion to what we see here for the Cadians currently. We have that Cadian command squad, the Cadian shock troops, the Cadian upgrades, and then the heavy weapon squad. And then realistically, we know we're going to get a new Astra Militarum codex as well. That's going to encompass all of the Astra Militarum, including the Krieg. And then I think it's probably safe to assume that we're also going to get potentially a commissar or like Death Rider character on horseback. And then likely an individual like epic hero for the Death Korps of Krieg as well to kind of flush out the range. Probably going to have a Death Korps detachment. And then potentially even the addition of like a brand new Death Korps specific vehicle. Maybe Death Korps specific Ogren or Bulgren kit. Lots of other potential for like cool stuff that they could bring out. So let me know if you're excited for the new Astra Militarum range refresh, including the Death Korps, the new Astra Militarum codex, and what other things that you speculate or hope that they're going to include in the new model range or rules for in the new codex. I know I personally am super excited for this. I've always been a big fan of Astra Militarum, and while I have some of the kill teams already painted up nicely for the Death Korps, I also have quite a few of the Astra Militarum vehicles. But I've been wanting to lean in on an Astra Militarum army for some time now, and I think the brand new codex and range refresh, including the addition of the Death Korps of Krieg models, is probably going to push me over the top. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you're hoping for, expecting, or looking forward to. And as always, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products, and make sure to tell them that Warhammer Man sent you. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man. And I am super excited for 2025 and the rise of the Krieg. And I'm out of here.